Hello, Dragonites. How is everybody doing today? Welcome to your Wednesday Whip and Chat for the Designer Dragons event. Hope everybody is having a great time and everything is going well for everyone. As you can see, I'm working right along here on my canvas. I have these two sections to go and then we will call it a completion. How are all of you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. We are officially today halfway through our event, you guys. I know it's hard to believe, isn't it? It's crazy. So be getting ready to send in your finishes, or as completed as you got it, and however it ended up. You don't have to finish it, so that's okay. I'm going to be asking you to please send your finishes or your completions for the event by the 30th of January. I'd like to do a final whip parade for you guys, and I do need the help of my Sagittarius sister, Miss Donna, over at Diamond Art Joy. Please make sure that you check out her channel if you haven't, because she does some really beautiful painting. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, she is the technical genius behind the whip parades, so I need to make sure I have all of that and can get it over to her. So please keep that in mind. I'll remind you again next week, but there are 63 of us all together. So it takes some doing to get that situated and ready to go for you guys. Please, please, please have your completion or your canvas as completed as you're going to be comfortable going with for the end of the event by the 30th. Please. I will not be able to chase you guys down, so please do this because I'd like you to be in the event. If you do not get it in by the 30th at end of business day, Pacific time, which would be 5 p.m. Pacific time, it is not going to be able to get into the whip parade. So please don't come at me on the 31st going, oh, please, can I just? No, I'm afraid you're not going to be able to just. You have to have it by 5 p.m. Pacific time on January 30th, please. Thank you so much for getting that in ahead of time. I have seen some of your completions already. They're beautiful. Absolutely loved them. So, yep, I'm excited to be able to put them in the final whip parade because it's going to be outstanding. I can just tell already. All right. You guys picked wonderful projects and canvases. I just can't tell you how much fun it has been seeing all the different dragons coming to life. It's just been fantastic. Also, I have to thank all of you for your responses to Whip and Chat number 2. I loved your blended chimera creatures. It's wonderful, and I loved your mission statement for all of them because, you guys are you're just fantastic. I just can't even tell you how much fun it was for me to go through there and see your imaginations come just creeping out of the words. It was really fantastic. So this week we're going to be talking about an Egyptian winged serpent / dragon, Apophis. So that's going to be the information I'm going to be sharing with you today. I hope everybody's enjoying the event. If you have not been joining the event, please do let me know because I'm interested in your feedback. And don't worry, it's perfectly fine. You're not going to, you're not going to scar me for life if you have something critical to say. It's okay. But I am looking for feedback because now remember I'm doing part of the 3-person event in November. So I'll be doing the beautiful moon part of Luna and Lichens. Donna and Margie, Diamond Art Joy and Margie Grice are going to be co-hosting the Lichens part of the event. So they're the wolf people. And Diamond Painting with Jack. Jack is going to be doing her Hello Kitty event. So we're all going to be doing this in November. But I would just like to hear back from you because if there's something you would like to see done differently, if there's something you enjoyed more than others, if there's something you really didn't like, please let me know. Let me know how you've seen it done differently and what you liked about it, the way it was done differently so that I can learn something. Okay? So thank you in advance for that. Please leave it in the comment section. Love it, love it. Okay, also, the Dragonite cover reminders. In the next Whip and Chat, I'm going to be giving you the instructions on how you can win one of those. So gorgeous. and also the beautiful postcards with Arietta's, the UK, Crafty Witch UK's beautiful original artwork on the postcard, which is just absolutely gorgeous. There's going to be a bunch of you ready for that. So yes, that is coming up in the very next WIP and Chat. Now, oh, and I do want to say that, yes, in case you're wondering, our dragon tree still standing here for our event. Absolutely. And check this out, you guys. I literally just the other day, just by accident, happened to have found the fairy lights. Look at that. Yes, there it is. All our little dragons and our beautiful purple fairy lights. So yes, our dragon tree is still here, still beautiful. Oh, and this one was on a gift from a special person. They know who they are, so I don't have to say it. But yes, so your beautiful dragon tree with all little dragon ornaments is still intact, and now it's lit and beautiful and purple. So yes, all set. Okay, so now we're going to start, and you don't have to tell me, I know the background noises are a problem, especially my my barking little chihuahuas. I get it. Hopefully that will not be an ongoing thing, but honestly, you guys, it might be. You know, sorry. That one's a tough one to try to subdue in the situation where I live. So sorry about the little yappy dogs. And so, yeah, I was going to have Finney in here sitting down and joining the event today, but he has decided to try out a little bit of brumation. He's been asleep now for a couple days. So I'm kind of hoping he continues, because he really does need to get some deep sleep and, you know, so he can be his best dragon self. And the others are kind of just, you know, kind of just laying around today too. They're not quite sure what the heck is happening. So anyway, so we won't have any dragons today except the ones on the canvas, but just know everybody's good. There's no problems there. It's all perfectly fine. All right, so again, we are about to enter our third week of the event. I have to turn this upside down because I'll be working in these corners over here. So sorry if I'm giving you whiplash over here, but I have to get this down here where I can see it. Okay. So we are going to be discussing Apophis. That's A-P-O-P-H-I-S, Apophis. Also known as Apep, A-P-E-P, which is the Greek name for this Egyptian god. So I'm going to start with giving you a couple of artist renderings of Apophis. So here's one, very serpent-esque. This one, he does have the wings. Sometimes he's depicted without them. So yes, there's the name in case you want to see it in writing. Then, you know, Apophis is what I'm going to call him, because what can I tell you? Okay, here's another rendering of this very cool Egyptian dragon, god, deity, whatever you want to call him. So, okay. That is where we are now. Okay. So, I'm going to get some drills ready to go. So, how's everybody's 2025 going? Has everybody been, you know, going okay? Is life happening for you? You moving on with it? Like, what's the haps with you guys? Yeah, I want to find out how everybody's doing. Mine's been a little rough, I won't lie to you. It has not been fantastic. I had no delusions it was going to be, but you know, it's just a lot, you know what I mean? Life can just really do some stuff. Anyway, but I want to know how yours is going. How is your 2025 going? All right, so again, we're talking about Apophis. Now, who is Apophis? Apophis, or Apep in Greek, was the Egyptian god of chaos. Apep was the polar opposite of the godly personification of order. Ra and the chief enemy of the king of the gods, the sun god Ra. That's R-A, Ra. He took the form of a great snake, or dragon. The Egyptians believed that the sun was Ra traveling along a boat in the heavens. Okay, so meaning the Egyptians thought that the sun god Ra was pulling the sun across the sky during the day and with his chariot and from dawn till dusk, and then he was supposedly had to pull his carriage, or let's call it his barge. It's a barge. In at the end of the day through the underworld in order to come back up at sunrise. So you can see why a god of chaos might be problematic in that situation. You know, you can end up in quite a pickle, I think. So that was their thought. Okay, now why was Apophis the one who was basically, the enemy of Ra? He believed that they believed that Ra had to fight Apophis every single day, and if he was victorious, as he was most of the time, then the next day the sun would come up like it was supposed to. Then if he wasn't, oh well, then they got a little concerned until it did show up, and the next day, or a couple days after. So yes, so Apophis became the enemy of the sun god Ra because the sun was the first sign of the created world and symbolized divine order, light, and life. He believed if he could swallow the sun god, he could return the world to a unity of darkness. So, it's the old adage, order versus chaos. That's what we're dealing with here. So, Apophis, aka Apep, is the great serpent, enemy of the sun god Ra in ancient Egyptian religion. The sun was Ra's great barge, which sailed through the sky from dawn to dusk, and then descended into the underworld as it sailed through the darkness. It was attacked by Apophis, who sought to kill Ra and prevent sunrise. So that was 100% of Apophis's, big shtick, is he was going to just keep that from happening, gosh darn it, because, he wanted the world back into darkness, because that was, his comfort zone. He did not want light to prevail, so hence the issue, right? Okay. On board the great ship, a number of different gods and goddesses are depicted in differing eras, as well as the justified dead. And all of these helped fend off the serpent. Ancient Egyptian priests and lay people would engage in rituals to protect Ra and destroy Apophis, and through these observances, linked the living with the dead and the natural order as established by the gods. The personality of an individual was highly valued in Egyptian culture. All the gods were depicted with their own characters, and even lesser deities and spirits had their own distinct personalities. The autobiographies inscribed on tombs and in hieroglyphics was to ensure that the person buried there, that specific individual, and their accomplishments would never be forgotten. Apophis then embodied and represented everything the Egyptians feared the most: darkness, oblivion, and the loss of one's identity. Because remember, there's a big belief in Egyptian culture about, living on into the afterlife. That was why they discovered mummification. They were trying to preserve your body because they believed that, if you were worthy, that you would then come back in the afterlife, in the Elysian fields, or, hanging out, in the underworld with Hades, depending on how you behaved. And you would need your body, because what else are you going to walk around in, right? So that's why they developed mummification, so that they could make sure the bodies were well preserved, so when you needed it, it was in there ready to go. So that was the whole point. Okay, now this is from worldhistory.org. This is the myth of Apophis, and basically they're telling you that it's the age-old battle of order versus chaos. That's the premise, okay? So here we go. The Apophis myth epitomizes the motif where the gods, the forces of order, enlist the aid of humanity to defend light against darkness and life against death. One of the most popular literary motifs of the Middle Kingdom of Egypt was order versus chaos, which can be seen in a number of their most famous works. But long before the text was written, however, the ritual, quote unquote, was enacted. No matter how many times Apophis was defeated and killed, he also rose again to life and attacked the sun god's boat. The most powerful gods and goddesses would defeat the serpent in the course of every night, but during the day, as the sun god sailed slowly across the sky, Apophis regenerated and was ready again by dusk to resume the war. In a text known as the Book of Gates, the goddesses Isis, Neith, and Serket, assisted by other deities, capture Apophis and restrain him in nets held down by monkeys, the sons of Horus, and the great earth god Geb, where he is then chopped into pieces. The next night, however, the serpent is whole again and waiting for the barge of the sun when it enters the underworld. So as you can see, Apophis, was a little difficult to actually fully be rid of, right? So yeah, it required the gods and humans to work together and, maintain order. And that was an important factor in their beliefs. So, that it just sort of, and it was an opportunity for them to every day remember that they were supposed to work in tandem with their gods. So, for the righteous causes of order and peace, and that would then ensure their proper place, because that's what they were doing, is they were working hand in hand with the gods of their belief system. And we all know belief systems are a powerful thing, and if you don't think so, try changing somebody's belief. You will find out it's nearly impossible to do. Okay. Each morning, the sun rose again and moved across the sky, and watching it, the people would know they had played a part in the gods' victory over the forces of darkness and chaos. The first act of the priests in the temple across Egypt was the ritual of, quote, end quote, lighting the fire, which reenacted the first sunrise. This was performed just before dawn in defiance of Apophis' desire to snuff out the light of creation and return all to darkness. So these are specific rituals that were done, and that there are festivals even today that go back to reenact these specific rituals as part of the festivities of the festival itself. So that's what we're looking at. Okay, I just want to move you guys over a little. Okay, here we go. Following lighting the fire came the second most important morning ritual, quote unquote, drawing the bolt, in which the high priests unlocked and opened the doors to the inner sanctum where the god lived. These two rituals both had to do with Apophis. Lighting the fire called upon the light of creation to empower Ra, and drawing the bolt woke the god of the temple from sleep to join in defending the barge of the sun against the great serpent. At the King's Sed festival and others, participants played the parts of the armies of Horus and Set in mock battles, reenacting the victory of Horus, aka Order, over enacting the victory of Set, aka Chaos. At Hathor's festival, okay, this one I had a chuckle at. At Hathor's festival, people were encouraged to drink to excess in reenacting the time of disorder and destruction when Ra sent Sekhmet to destroy humanity, but then repented. He had a large vat of beer, dyed red, set down in Sekhmet's path at Dendera, and she, thinking it was blood, drank it, became drunk, and passed out. When she woke, she was the gentle Hathor who restored order and became a friend to humanity. Does this sound to you guys like somebody trying to justify drinking till they pass out? Because it kind of did to me a little bit, I have to say. So yeah, there are several festivals that still go on to this day where, yes, even that one where where they can drink till they pass out and then say, oh, I was there to, celebrate Hathor coming into our lives and, doing wonderful things. She's also known as the Mistress of the West. She was known to carry messages from the living to the dead. So if somebody died and there was unfinished business, they would call upon Hathor to take the message to their loved one who was, reaching their way to their destination, because they believed it was a 7 to 10 day march to actually, get through there. And they would be overseen by Anubis. He would take all of their spirits down into the underworld, where they would go, before a council, basically, to find out whether or not they were worthy of going to the Elysian fields, or whether they would go to the underworld and have to hang out with Hades. So that's what that's about. If you have never seen the movie The Gods of Egypt, you should, because there's a really easy to understand and has good moments and funny moments and sad moments scene that depicts this part of their belief. So if you have not seen it, please do so, because I think you will like it. Again, it's called The Gods of Egypt. Okay. Okay. These rituals encouraged the understanding that human beings played an important role in the workings of the universe. The sun was not just an impersonal object in the sky, which appeared to rise every morning and set each evening, but was imbued with character and purpose. It was the barge of the sun god who, throughout the day, ensured the continuation of life, and at night required the prayers and support of the people to ensure they would see him the next day. The rituals surrounding the overthrow of Apophis represented the eternal struggle between good and evil, order and chaos, light and darkness, and relied upon the daily attention and efforts of human beings to succeed. Humanity, then, was not just a passive recipient of the gifts of the gods, but a vital component in the operation of the universe. This understanding was maintained and these rituals observed until the rise of Christianity in the 4th century. At this time, the old model of humanity as co-workers with the gods was replaced by a new one in which human beings were fallen creatures, unworthy of their deity, and utterly dependent upon their God's Son and his sacrifice for their salvation. Okay. Overthrowing Apophis. The Egyptians believed that all of nature was imbued with divinity, and this, of course, included the sun, which gave life. Eclipses and cloudy days were concerning because it was thought the sun god was having problems bringing his ship back up into the sky. The cause of these problems was always Apophis, who had somehow gotten the better of the gods on board. During the latter part of the New Kingdom era, the text known as the Book of Overthrowing Apophis was set down from earlier oral traditions in which, according to Egyptologist Geraldine Pinch, quote, the most terrifying deities in the Egyptian pantheon were evoked to combat the chaos serpent and destroy all the aspects of his being, such as his body, his name, his shadow, and his magic. Priests acted out this unending war by drawing pictures or making models of Apophis. These were cursed and then destroyed by stabbing, trampling, and burning, thus showing the overthrow of evil, darkness, chaos, aka Apophis. So now you know the story of Apophis and you know what they were trying to get across. So for today in the comments section, I know I'm giving you guys homework, huh? I know. Sorry. I am though. I'm giving you homework. So in the comments section, let me know if you were Ra, the sun god, and you were in charge of your great big humongous barge and, you know, towing the sun through the heavens during the day every day, and you knew you had to fight this creature every night, what would you do? What would you do? Is there a way that you can think of that, you know, maybe would get rid of him once and for all? Would you try to take the force approach? Would you try to cajole him into, you know, relenting and not being chaotic? What do you think you would do? If it was all up to you, you got to remember, you got to get that sun hooked onto your barge and you got to tow it through the heavens for 12 long hours, ending with having to deal with this guy who's just been waiting for you and is rejuvenated from the night before. So yeah, this is an important task, and you know, everybody on the earth is depending on you because, you know, we all need the sun in order to survive. So yeah, let me know what you would do. And you're all honorary Ra the sun gods now. So what would be your way of handling that? How would you make sure the sun rose every day and that you were victorious over darkness, chaos, malevolence, all of those? So, yep, let your creative juices run wild. I know you know how because I saw what you guys have been answering so far. Loved it too. I love all of it. You guys come up with some great stuff. Okay, so that's your assignment, is to let me know in the comment section how you, as, you know, the next Ra in the great scheme of things, are going to defeat this chaos demon, essentially, Apophis, and how you're going to keep him out of your face, because, you know, every night that would just get to be bothersome, wouldn't it? So yeah, let me know your plan for that. So yeah, that's your your study of the dragon for this week. So we talked about the Leviathan, we talked about the Chimera, now we've talked about Apophis. So yeah, another thing you can let me know is I'm going to bring up a couple more because we have time for a couple more before the end of the event. And I considered doing Kilgara, which is really pure myth. He was the dragon imprisoned by King Uther Pendragon, which was King Arthur's father, when he outlawed any magic at all within the kingdom's grounds. Why did he do that? Well, he did that because he and his wife desperately wanted to conceive a child. They were having trouble. He went to a sorceress named Nimue and asked her, you know, please, we want to conceive. So she intervened and they conceived, but naturally it was a life for a life. So while he was given a son, he lost his wife during childbirth. So he was angry and decided, that's it, magic no longer. Which made it difficult when Merlin came into Camelot because, you know, he was a magic guy. So, but he was also the friend and protector of Arthur Pendragon, later to be known as King Arthur. So, I don't know, do you want me to get into the fable aspect and talk about Kilgara, or would you rather I would just go ahead and stick to the mythological, you know, great dragons of yore? That's kind of what I want to know. And either one is fine. You know, it doesn't matter to me, you know, so just let me know, you know, yeah, I'd like to hear more about, you know, Camelot's dragon, or I'd rather you stick to the tried and true. Either one's fine. And then we will just have a majority rule. So whatever you guys want to do is what we'll do. So yeah, because I have a few other dragons that I'm thinking about, you know, spotlighting, as it were, on here to, you know, as we move through the event. So yeah, either way is completely fine. I would just like to know where you guys are. What would you like to do? Because, you know, this is your event and I want you to be able to enjoy it. So you tell me what you want and I will do everything in my power to get that for you as we move through here. So yeah, another thing, if you remember, you can let me know, are you guys enjoying the event? I know it's been different than September's event, but yeah, I'm interested to know. What have you liked? What have you not really been crazy about? You know, what are your thoughts? Are you enjoying your canvases? I know a couple of you did comment either in the Facebook group or emailed me or in the comment section. Some of you had some canvases that were a bummer. Either, you know, you had bad drills, you had bad colors, your glue wasn't good, whatever it was. So I'm really sorry to hear that because, you know, I mean, I've had a couple of those situations occur as well. And oh, it's so frustrating, especially when you have this beautiful dragon and you've been waiting for it and you finally get to do it. And then something's not kosher with it. So for those of you experiencing that, I'm so sorry. I know how frustrating that is. And I wish that it could be different. You know, I think we all know, anybody who has diamond painted, you know, for a couple months or longer, you already know that, yeah, canvases are not created equal, especially budget friendlies, but, you know, even premiums. You can get a dud of a premium canvas too. So yeah, but I know that it happens more readily with budget friendlies. And I will say I've had some incredible budget friendly canvases lately, knock on wood. Here I am knocking on wood. That have just been, I mean, even some where I've expected them to be kind of meh, you know, and they were really good. So I was really happy about that. I've had some good situations. Speaking of which, I'm thinking about resurrecting that big, enormous Disney canvas that was a turkey that I had last year. I stopped working on it and was planning to chuck it. However, I don't know. I mean, I have what I need to be able to resurrect the canvas. I just don't know if I want to put the time in that it will take to resurrect it. My issue is I don't know that I'm all that happy with the way that the images are coming out once the drills are affixed. That's my issue. I don't mind putting in the time because, I mean, it is Disney and it's huge, and I think it would be really fun to finish it. And, you know, if it comes out halfway decent, it would be fun to display. But again, you know, what do I want to put aside while I'm doing that? And if I don't like it once it's made, then what do I do with it? I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, I'll probably, I'm trying to figure out a good way that I want to be able to sell some of the canvases that are completed. So I would probably just do that. If it looks okay, but I don't particularly like it, I would put it in that area and I would just go ahead and sell it. But, yeah, I just don't know. I mean, I have so many events I'm doing and so many canvases that are out that I need to be focusing on. So yeah, it's still out there, you guys. I just was wondering, what do you guys think? You think it's worth putting the time into? What it would entail is, and remember, it's like a, I don't know, 40 by 80 or 50 by 80. I mean, it's good sized. I would have to remove 100% of the plastic. I would have to take diamond dots, go over the entire canvas, and then I would re-kit up the drills because I took it out of the container, the storage container that I had it in, so I could use the storage container. So it's in bags. It's not terrible, but I would have to take the time to re-put it into containers, then reapply the plastic or apply release paper, and then get back to work on it. And, you know, and I don't know if you guys may not remember, but one of the issues I ran up against is that even though the characters in the original canvas had features and eyes and everything, they weren't rendered well into the painting. I had to create eyes because a couple of them, they didn't have them. You couldn't see them, which is fine. And I did that, and I don't mind doing that. I can do it. I just don't know, you know, is it worth it? I don't know. Still thinking about it. If it were, let me put it this way. If it was anything but Disney, I probably would have just gone ahead and scrapped it. But it has, you know, so many of the Disney characters that, you know, I mean, it's a cool piece of artwork if it would cooperate with itself and just, you know, just come out like it's supposed to be. So, yeah, so I don't know. That's on my thinking process. I don't know. What would you guys do? Let me know. I always appreciate you guys helping me decide because, you guys are brilliant. You have it figured out. So, I know you'll tell me the right thing, what you think should happen. And then after I get everybody's ideas, I will, make a decision. And it's not a rush. I can either throw it away or I can keep it another year. It doesn't really matter. Like, I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's literally hanging up in my room. So it's not like it's a huge imposition or anything. It's just like, I don't know. It has been my albatross now for nearly a year. And I just don't know if I want to continue to have it stalking me from the corner of my room. That's my thing. Don't know. But anyway, and if you want to see the one I'm talking about, you can go back in the unboxings, and I did show it on a couple of different ones, a couple different videos. I was doing it for last year's Disney event that Crafty Chef was hosting, and then I ended up stopping it because it was just so miserable and the canvas quality, glue quality was terrible. So I ended up not doing that and doing the Villainesses again instead for Disney. And just kind of, putting that one to hang out in the WIP section for, quite a while. So that's, so it's still there. So I was going through some of my WIPs and I was trying to decide, when, how, what I wanted to do with them. So I happened to look at it and go, still undecided on that one. And it's been a while now. It's been almost a year since I ordered it. And it's been, 7-8 months since I tried to work on it. So I don't know. You guys tell me. What do you think? I may just let it sit there another year. I may, just mess with it when I have time. Or I may just, say to heck with it and let it move on. I don't know. It's there. So I was thinking about doing it and then sending it to my son and letting him put it up in my grandson's room, since right now the boys share a room. My little Lucas just turned 2 in December. His birthday's 2 days before mine, before Grandma's. And my little Caden will be 8 next month. So it might be fun to hang, for him to hang in their room for a while. So I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's just sitting there. I happened to run across it. That's why it was in the forefront of my head. So, yeah, it's just hanging out. Let me know your thoughts. Other than that, not a heck of a lot else going on. I do need to get that completion video done for you guys. I'm supposed to have the rest of the Diamond Dot canvases here by the weekend. So I'll be doing a Diamond Dot unboxing. And yeah, that's kind of most of the unboxings. And the completion video I definitely need to do because got stuff hanging out here I need to put away, but I don't want to put them away until I do the video. So you know what I mean? It's just all this stuff. And then of course life gets in the way, which is don't you just hate it when life gets in the way of diamond painting? It's such a bummer. It just really is. You're just like, come on, leave me alone. I want to diamond paint. I don't want to have to be an adult. Come on, that's not fun. Yeah, it's been doing a lot of that lately. So I don't know. It's a whole thing. So yeah, I do want to thank all of you who said such nice words about support during all the fires and everything, and putting up with my rant in the last video. Thank you very much for that. The fires are coming more and more under containment. So, we're just days away from being able to put them out. And then the cleanup is going to be a whole another project altogether. But thank you for understanding the spirit in which I intended the video and the truth and why it matters. It really does matter. It's human lives. It's not, not something to be politicized. It's not something to play with. I mean, people have been devastated. Even the ones that survived it, they've lost literally everything. I mean, imagine driving away from your house to go to the store and then an hour later trying to come back and it being in flames. I mean, it's a whole thing. So yeah, guys, that's all that's happening around here. But I wanted to thank you for that. It is coming under control. The winds have died down. So we're going to be in a better situation, you know, very soon. So, okay, thank you. So, yeah, so stand by for all that. I hope that we are going to be fire-free before too much longer. So, all right, Dragonites. Well, I have taken up, you know, a bit of your time. What's going on? My watch doesn't want to give me the time. Okay. Yeah, about 45 minutes of your time. So I want to thank you again. And again, don't forget your homework. Tell me what you would do if you were Ra and you were going to go against Apophis every night in order to preserve the ability to raise the sun again the next day. Tell me what you would do. Also, let me know how much you've liked or disliked the event so far. And let me know your thoughts on the Disney canvas. So, yeah, have a great rest of your day, Dragonites. And remember, always be a dragon. Spread your wings. Protect those you love. Have fiery passion. Stay strong, slay your fears, and always fly high, rise up, and soar. All right, Dragonites, have a wonderful rest of your week. And I promise I will be responding to the messages for the last video. Like I said, life got in the way a little bit, but I definitely will. And I love all of you. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.